Good morning. Welcome to day 45, May 21st, 2024. We're about 20 minutes in to our hike. Left the camp at about 6. It's a nice area, but everyone's kind of on top of each other a bit, so I didn't want to make too much noise there. There ended up being 6 tents there last night, so pretty cool. It was cold, no wind. Glad I put the rainfly on, but just had to get moving just to stay warm. Waiting for that glorious sun to come out. We can start to delayer. One cool thing coming up in about 11 miles is the most monstrous, enormous water cache in the history of water caches. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be huge. And then we'll have probably like a 6-mile water carry to camp. Looking to do about a 17-mile day today. So, yeah, Tuesday morning, awesome. Let's get some miles in. It's been a pretty nice trail. We're starting to get a little bit of sun. I've just been noticing for my trail runners, I'm not like getting the same bounce. Like the bottom of my feet are like feeling the trail a bit. So it's a good thing I'm getting a new pair in a few days. I guess like 600 miles is the most I can expect out of them, which I'm happy with that. I thought even I'd be happy with 500 miles. So yeah, they've served me well, but I definitely need more cushioning, especially with the Sierras coming up. So glad I got a new pair coming out. Otherwise, it's been a great quiet morning. Haven't seen anyone or anything. I think it's safe to say we're definitely in bear country now. And there were definitely reports in far out of bears here and there. So maybe we'll get lucky and see a bear. All right, still a very nice trail, mostly shady. I was just thinking about my original permit start date was April 21st. That was what I could get for the lottery. And then I just kept checking the site every day. And earlier April dates opened up. I know the snow would be more of an issue, but getting that April 7th date, so 2 weeks earlier, I just like having that wiggle room for 2-night stays in hotels, things like that. Because I think I'd definitely be feeling more of a crunch if I was 2 weeks behind where I am, for sure. So, yeah, I think early April, you got to contend with the snow, but you definitely have some more wiggle room to kind of ease into bigger miles and, not doing crazy 20-mile days every day, especially, when you're first starting out. So looking back on it now, I feel like April 7th is a great day to start the trail in the normal snow year. So very happy about that. Bug report. The bugs have been pretty non-existent the past couple days, which has been nice. Usually when I'm setting up the tent, there'll be a bunch of those little gnats and like the housefly type flies will all kind of find their way into my tent. Not the past 2 nights, which has been a really nice change of pace. I mean, it doesn't take much to deal with them, but not having any has been a nice bonus. So you saw from that trail register, I was the first one to sign in for today. Obviously there were a bunch of people camped where I was camped, and then 2 miles north of where we were all camped, there was another tent there. Haven't seen anyone today. A group that I've kind of been leapfrogging with before Tehachapi Anavia, who I think is from Denmark, and then 2 females, Mussels and French Toast. They all kind of hang out together. They're a day ahead of me somewhere, so other than that, I didn't recognize any names in the register. But I took some photos of like the past few days. I'll look at it in the tent tonight and see if I remember or recognize any other names. All right, it's about 9 o'clock. We just did a little climb and we're about to go down. So there's a nice shady spot here. Take a full break, have a little more breakfast, air out the feet, switch from tunes to audiobook. I'm just finishing up an audiobook on the recovery of the Columbia shuttle explosion in 2003. Basically blew up over Texas and Louisiana, and just details the recovery effort. It's pretty interesting. A little dry. It's good for the trail. And then I've also got, after that, we're going to go back to back and listen to like a 24-hour book on the Challenger disaster in the O-ring. So yeah, I'm definitely in a space mood right now. So that's what's up. And then we'll switch to podcast once I've had enough of the audiobook. We have about 5 miles to our huge water cache. I can't wait to see it. It's hard to make out, but 20 miles to the Sequoia National Forest. Oh baby, now we're talking. That pointy peak way out in the distance, appropriately named Chimney Peak. It's about 7,800 feet. All right, it's around 10:30, so we've been going for about 4.5 hours. We got another 1.5 miles to the water cache, and we're gonna take a nice long break there. Hello there. We're going to avoid this guy. All right. Sadly, not a lot of shade, but very thankful to have the water. We are going to load up. All right, so it's going to be about a 6-mile water carry if I can camp where I would like to camp. So not the worst, but not the best water carry. All right, so first we'll top off our hydration bladder, get a full 3 liters in there. All right, it's around 11:30. We have acquired a bunch of water and refilled the filling station. So got 3 liters in the hydration bladder, 3 liters in my smart water bottles, put like another 1.5 liters in the CNOC in the Bear Vault, and I'm gonna have at least 2 cups of electrolytes. The good news is don't have to filter anything. The bad news is it's really an exposed sun, so it's not going to be the coldest water in the world, but still super thankful for it. And I got here early enough where I don't think it's going to be like blazing hot water. It'll still be room temperature, so I'm totally cool with that. Have a little something to eat, and then we'll keep pushing on. We got, what did I say, 7 miles to camp. Yeah, we got lucky last night. It was cold enough where I think all this water cooled down pretty good overnight, so it's still like room temperature, but I imagine by about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, the water's gonna be pretty toasty. Two trail registers in one day. We are in the middle of a big climb. Whew. Still climbing. All right, 2.5 miles to go. to our potential campsite. Amazing views up here, but it's just been a steady climb. Whew. With a lot of water. .2 miles to go. Just passed our first through hiker of the day, a solo male, and then he immediately repassed me. He was looking at some green big worm. So other than that, there was one solo female who was coming up to the water cache just as I was leaving. I'm guessing she was the one I saw that was camped north of us, and haven't seen anyone else since. Gonna keep on motoring on. All right, so I wasn't really loving the camping options at the road there. So we gotta go another mile to a mile and a half. There's an established tent site and also maybe something else before that. So bonus miles, bonus climbing, extra long water carry. All right, so the trail is down there. We took a left off the trail, crossed over this dirt road, and we've got a nice little flat spot here to set up camp because it's kind of out of sight. Hopefully no neighbors. So it's gonna take a little bit before we have shade, but that's okay. We can work with this site. Definitely done for the day. There was like a tent site another half-mile north, but that could get crowded. So I think this is the right choice. Trying to get motivated to get camp set up. Just enjoying sitting in the breeze and watching the Joshua trees and the blue skies. All right, it's about 4 o'clock. Our tent is set up, still kind of in the sun. So we've got hopefully cold water here. Gonna get some electrolytes in us and rehydrate. Figure out how far we went today. We went pretty far today. Wasn't fun carrying it, but I'm so glad I have it now. I'm probably gonna do all this in electrolytes. So it's wild how much the environment has changed again. Yesterday at this time we were camped in a nice shady grove of trees. It was probably in the high 50s, low 60s temperature wise already. Little breeze blowing, kind of chilly. And I'll have to look, I'm not sure how much elevation we've lost, but we basically hiked 10 miles or 10 hours north, probably somewhere around 18 miles. And we're back in full desert conditions, just like that. Crazy. Yeah, pretty beat today. So just gonna keep sipping these electrolytes and starting to look at what we did today and what we might do tomorrow while we wait for the sun to go down a bit so we can relax in the tent. The good thing is it's not bug season yet. The mosquitoes aren't out yet, so we have the luxury of doing this. At some point that will change, and we'll have to decide, do we want to roast in the tent or just put on a bunch of DEET and hang out outside. So those days are coming. Okay, so compared to yesterday, we've only lost 1,000 feet of elevation. We're at like 5,400 feet, and we went almost 19 miles today north. So just like that, everything changes back to the desert. Pretty wild. All right, it's about 6 o'clock. I'm in the tent. You can see the sun right behind me. It's getting a little less strong with every minute that goes by. So we're going to get ready to have some dinner. Got one of my favorites, the Peak Refuel sweet pork rice we'll start with that and then see how I'm feeling. There was one hiker that came up here, looked around, and I looked around as well. I think this is the only like viable site, and there's not really any shade. So tomorrow will be another good day with another long water carry. It's another water cache from some kind soul about 8 miles in. Load up there on water, and then we'll probably go another 7 to 9 miles, depending on how the trail's doing, how I'm feeling. We've got like 29 miles in 2 days we've got to do to be set up for the bus on Friday morning. So we've put ourselves in a really good spot where we don't have to do big miles the next 2 days. We can kind of just pick where we want to camp tomorrow night. 12 miles, 14 miles, 15, whatever. And then we'll be set up for Thursday night to take the bus. I just had a tiny bit of cell service that comes and goes. Was able to touch base with Sarah. There was an issue with my pack I ordered from Amazon getting to the hotel, but Sarah was able to troubleshoot it. Thank you, Sarah. Between Amazon and the Crest post office, who were very friendly. And the Hampton Inn says they have my packages with the nachos on them. So that's awesome. Yeah, just gonna keep drinking water, wait for the sun to go down, just relax and start to eat a bit. See you in the morning.